My next technique I call the aha technique. Right now, you've probably got some mind chattering going on, all sorts of thoughts. We don't need to go into details. You're familiar with your mind chattering, commenting, critiquing, getting in the way of stuff. I took a course once, happened to be through EST, long time ago, and they were talking about um, quietening your mind. And they were talking about different techniques. One is you try to focus on something, trying to ignore the mind chatter, and what happens? The mind chatter gets louder, more intrusive, gets in the way, gets your attention. So that doesn't work. Arguing it, no, that doesn't work either. It just keeps on arguing and getting in the way and getting your attention. So it didn't seem like there was any good way of doing this to quieten your mind. And then I remembered something. And if I blush, because it's not the greatest of memories, but I'll tell you. I was at college and pretty early on, and it was the evening, and I was going to be able to meet some women, new women, yes. And this guy came up to me and he wanted to talk. Well, I didn't want to talk with a guy, but I wanted to be polite. I didn't want to tell him to go away. So I wondered, how could I discourage him? So I thought, I will just say aha to everything he says. That's it. Aha. I modified the tone a bit. Aha. Just so it wasn't so obvious. But he kept on talking, and it took 26 ahas before he finally walked off. And I chased after him to apologize. I'd made up a story saying it'd been a psychological test, something, technique. He wasn't taking any of it. So, and I don't remember anything else about the party. So years later, I'm thinking about this technique while they're talking about quietening your mind. And it occurred to me that if you just say aha in your mind to your mind chatter, the same result will happen. It will go away. Worth trying? Easy enough? So as you notice some comment going in your mind, just say aha. So yeah, you can do it now. I'll give you a moment to pause. I'm sure your mind chatter is ready and willing to fill the gap, and just say aha. And it's going to keep on talking, so you're going to say aha again. And if you keep on doing this, it doesn't take long. It took me 4 or 5 ahas before I noticed my mind was trying to get my attention by talking about stuff that would bother me. So I just persisted, aha. And pretty soon after that, I noticed there was a gap before the mind chatter would kick in with some new topic. And each time after that, the gap would get longer. It was as if my mind was trying to think of something to say. Meanwhile, I was noticing the gaps. And by the way, it's important to know, we are the listener. We are not the mind chatter. One client thought she was the mind chatter, and she was kind of astounded to hear otherwise, and got her to see it that way, and she was ever so grateful. So I want you to do this. It's real simple. Just say aha. Whatever comes up, uh-huh, and look for that gap. And you'll notice the gap gets wider, longer, longer, and how enjoyable it is, how peaceful it is. And another thing is, you don't have to keep on thinking, chattering away to live. You can have a quiet mind. So I practiced this technique after it seemed to work. Took me 2 months, and I was wandering around New York City daytime, and I noticed that I didn't have any mind chatter. Great feeling. And what I also noticed was I could see better, I could hear better, I could pay attention better, because I didn't have that mind chattering, commenting, critiquing, sticking its nose in things. So one benefit of doing the mind technique, other than quietening your mind, is that you can pay attention better. You can notice what you want to notice without having some chatter in the back of your mind distracting you, pulling you away, whatever. Easy technique, the aha technique. And generally, usually, whenever I teach someone this, they say, aha. That's it.